let's do some rapid fire news here. Let's see what's going on.
All right, we are breaking into our regular programming for just a few moments to set up what will take place at 9:30 this afternoon or this evening. There will be a press conference at the Arkansas State Police Troop headquarters in Lowell. The governor will be there along with state police officials, all to announce that there has been an arrest made in the Devil's Den double murder. If we have a picture, we could maybe try to show that, or we can just real quickly read the
James
the
McGann.
There's the picture. His name is James McCann. He is 28 years old. He's from Springdale. He was arrested in connection with the double homicide that took place on Saturday at Devil's Den State Park. He was arrested and taken into custody at a Springdale business just before 5 o'clock.
Yes, and so as we know, this happened on Saturday at Devil's Den. There's been a manhunt going on up until this point, and now this is the information we're learning right now from Arkansas State Police that this person has been arrested. Now, Governor Sanders released a statement about this. She said no news can heal the enormous harm done to the Brink family in last weekend's crime, but this announcement is a comfort and reassurance for our state. She says she's so proud of all the law enforcement that has helped bring this arrest to happen, and I'm sure we'll hear more from her, obviously, at that press conference.
Yeah, she's going to be there along with the state police colonel, who is going to be there as well, and who you're looking at there now, of course, are the victims of this double homicide, 43-year-old Clinton Brink and then 41-year-old Kristen Brink. They were fatally attacked while they were hiking with her two young children on a trail there at Devil's Den late Saturday afternoon, or middle part of Saturday afternoon. The girls, who were 7 and 9, were not injured. We'll have much more about that as well too. But just to set this up, there is going to be a news conference, and of course we'll carry it live right here on 5 News, also on our website at 5newsonline.com and on 5 News Plus.
There you have it. And we'll be doing a conference tomorrow. New York Times under fire for publishing false and hyperbolic Gaza images.
I want to show you these pictures that are the key picture, really, that's been shown right around the world.
Yeah, they basically, they were showing
this.
New
York Times, who's now issued a clarification. We've been
yeah,
on
so
about
basically
this for days. It's been clear. People have
there have been
exposed
images circulating. Yeah, these types of images circulating. Yeah, they're
cerebral palsy
fake.
and all sorts of other conditions. While obviously his mother and his older brother are not starving. So for this to be used as proof of starvation in Gaza
and we saw a video earlier where, what was it, a day or two ago? I forgot when.
Surely the ABC,
where
the Sydney Morning Herald,
that's what's actually happening.
Need to make that same
you know, the people at the food, right, trying to get food at the
that's gone on for days.
aid.
Look, they should correct it, but
aid areas.
This war,
and then you give them, they're giving them soup and stuff.
And rather sluggish in actually clarifying or apologizing or retracting. And when they do, it's inevitably tucked away and buried somewhere. We saw that with the attack by Islamic Jihad in the early months of the war, which hit a Palestinian hospital, which was predictably blamed on Israel. We saw recently a UN official saying that within 48 hours, some 14,000 babies are going to die, which turned out to be a nonsense as well.
Yeah, that one was a weird one. Yeah, the babies one, that was a strange one. I was like, huh? How's that? Where are all those babies coming? How did they get all those babies in one area?
And press home the point with even more outrageous claims about comparisons to the Warsaw Ghetto and comparisons to the starvation of Ukrainian peasants by Stalin in the 1930s. So this has enormous legs, and it's part of a broader disinformation campaign. But at the same time, we shouldn't detract from the actual suffering that is happening in Gaza. It's without question. But once we have these sorts of hyperbolic claims and disinformation, it makes it harder to actually deal with a problem in a rational, coherent sense. It needs a solution. But sensationalism and false reporting like that gets us further away.
That's really the issue. People being
well said, Alex. Thanks for joining us again. I appreciate it.
Hyperbolizing certain situations. And it's just like, guys, what are you doing? Stop. Why can't you just be straightforward? Why do you gotta fucking...
The Navy's silent...
None of these people are straightforward. They always want to, overcompensate for some reason. Doesn't make it.
Surface just got a little louder. Another nuclear-powered submarine was spotted off the coast of Australia, and it's sending a clear message. On July 27th, the USS Ohio surfaced near Brisbane, Australia for a scheduled visit. The port served as a major U.S. submarine hub during World War II, but the Ohio's visit marked the first time a submarine of that class ever pulled into Brisbane's waters. The submarine's arrival in Brisbane also coincides with the upcoming 80th anniversary of Victory in the Pacific Day, which of course marks the end of hostilities in the Pacific Theater during World War II. While in port, the Ohio will host tours for distinguished visitors and local leaders. Navy calls it a historic visit, one only made possible with the support of the Frank Cable, a U.S. submarine tender that helps resupply subs when they're forward deployed. And here's where the story gets pretty interesting, because the Navy is usually pretty tight-lipped about announcing the whereabouts of its guided missile submarines.
Well, yeah, because it's a very
so the fact the service
integral part of our
about the occasion,
our force.
The USS Ohio wasn't
so that's why they don't want to say anything about it. Right, it's the same way with the the Russians and the Chinese when they don't say anything about their forces moving.
Trident ballistic
even
launch tubes,
even the Western countries don't even say anything.
To carry up to 7 Tomahawks apiece, or be used for other things like lockout chambers for Navy SEALs leaving for or returning from covert missions. Put it all together, and the Ohio-class guided missile subs can carry more than 12 dozen Tomahawk cruise missiles and still have room left over for special operation forces, along with their weapons and equipment. It's why the Navy says even with 30 years of service under its belt, the USS Ohio is just as relevant today to national defense as it ever was, especially given current events in the Indo-Pacific, where the People's Republic of China and its Communist Party want to assert more dominance in the region, often at the expense of U.S. allies. Because of that increase in Chinese aggression, we're seeing a more robust U.S. submarine presence in the Pacific. At Straight Arrow News, we just reported on the Navy redeploying a second fast attack sub to the region in just under a month, and now we have this story about one of 4 guided missile submarines making a historic stop in Brisbane. And this is all in addition to the AUKUS agreement, which will see the US and UK helping Australia get its own nuclear-powered submarine program up and running. It's all layers of the same message to America's adversaries, which is the U.S. Navy's silent service can sail pretty much wherever it wants, whenever it wants. Those boats have multiple ways of dealing freedom to oppressive regimes. And the US
if China is going to be strong-arming their military force, their
reporting like this, download the Straight Arrow News
military force or Navy force, in Taiwan's area and in Australia's area, well, we can do the same thing with America. Right, America can do the same thing. Because those countries, at least China, they always do that kind of shit too. And people are, uneasy every time they do that shit. Because it's like, you don't know when those fuckers are gonna do some crazy shit, right?
This just in, it's in Southern Virginia, we're getting word of a horrific attack. A city council member was set on fire inside of his office where a local am I reading this right?
So yeah, he works at a local magazine.
Yeah, he's at a local magazine. That's the office where this happened. Okay. And where he works. The 38-year-old Lee Vogler is a city councilman in Danville, Virginia, 2 hours south of Roanoke.
Yeah,
Police
apparently
say the
he was
suspect
targeted
entered into
for
the
some
victim's
reason.
office and then doused him with flammable liquid. The victim and the suspect then exited the building, where the suspect then set the victim on fire. Just horrific details we're learning. And right now, the extent of Vogler's injuries are unknown, and the suspect is in custody. Trace, it looks like the first phone calls came into police around 11:30 a.m., and they were dispatched to the scene there and told of a male
fucking burned him alive.
set on fire. He's been airlifted to a regional medical facility for treatment. And the full extent of his injuries is still not known at this time. Just awful.
Crazy people, man. Crazy people. We'll watch that later.
Okay, questions?
Mr. President, you said that higher interest rates are making it harder for veterans to refinance. There's a stronger than expected GDP report this morning. What do you say to analysts who worry that lowering interest rates would actually lead to inflation?
Well, if that happens, then we just raise them. What you do is you lower them, and let's see if there's inflation. Right now, there's no inflation. Everybody thought there would be. All we have is billions of dollars of cash pouring into our country from other countries that took advantage of us for many, many years. You know, they were taken advantage of. We were like the stupid people that didn't know what they were doing. They took advantage of us. Other countries, friend and foe. And by the way, the friend was oftentimes much worse than the foe when it comes to trade. So if that happens, what you do is you raise your rates and you do what you have to do to stop inflation.
I mean, I hate to say it, but all these countries,
the rates high.
In this game of every country's in it for themselves, right? Every country is its own sovereign nation. They have their own interests.
We have
right, and they try to get their own interests in
richest economy you've ever seen. We have money coming in that we've never even
desired the most.
At numbers that
so
nobody's
if it
ever
means
seen
fucking
before.
over other
We have
countries, they'll fucking
a deal
do
with
it.
Japan where they're going to pay us $550 billion. We have a deal with Europe where they're doing $750 billion plus $400 billion plus $300 billion. And many other countries, it's likewise, you know, relatively, those are two big ones, but likewise. So we have
Merchant trading is the most cutthroat type of business you can do.
We should, and we're very strong, and we should be lowering the rates. You know, each point that this gentleman keeps up costs us $365 billion a year. Think of that. 1 point, $365 billion. If you bring it down a point, we save 365. We should be the lowest interest rate, and we're not. We're 38. Number 38 because of the Fed. It's all because of the Fed.
Is he gonna chew out Jerome Powell?
Done a bad job. No, he's got a meeting today, but I call him too late. You know, he's always too late. Even if he does it today, probably
too late,
won't.
Jerome Powell.
I hear they're going to do it in September, not today. For what reason? Nobody knows. But Europe, as you know, cut their rates 11 times in the last short period of time. But the good news is we're doing better than anybody anywhere in the world. Nobody's doing anything even close to us, even with the higher rates. The higher rates do affect housing, though, because people can't go out and get a loan or refinance their house. And it would be nice to have them be able to do that. That would be just another check of a box. That would be very important. Yeah, please.
There you have it, calling out Jerome Powell.
Three people, including 2 girls and an adult, are confirmed dead after a massive explosion at a biofuels plant in Fremont, Nebraska. The blast ripped through the Horizon biofuels facility yesterday evening, leveling parts of that building. Fire crews spent hours battling flames and thick smoke. Officials say the force of the blast shook homes.
Jeez, that's rough.
Fremont's mayor says the operation has now shifted to a recovery mission. And officials say the 2 children killed were waiting for an employee to finish work. The plant makes animal bedding and wood pellets. Officials suspect wood dust played a role in that explosion.
Damn, that's fucking insane. And you had adults in that, or children in that area too. Fuck, those were probably one of the employees' kids, right? That's rough. That's fucking rough.
downtown Friday night unfolded right outside a busy nightclub called
this
Love
is
on
the
Fourth.
fight,
A
the brawl.
resident who doesn't want to be identified for safety reasons says she called 311, the city's non-emergency number, to complain about noise and crowds outside the club just before midnight Friday.
The fact that, people just want to walk by on the sidewalk and can't do it is a problem, and that is 100% related to love.
She tells Local 12 it's one of several attempts she's made to get the city to address issues there.
Often I will be told we already have several calls to that intersection. That's what happened at midnight Friday night.
The woman shared videos from June 22nd showing a crowd of people on the sidewalk and pouring into the street.
Loud music outside, cars parking illegally throughout the intersection,
Correct.
Crowds gathering when the club closes.
She also shared a photo of a car parked on the sidewalk and says it happens often. The woman says on Friday, temporary fencing blocked much of the sidewalk, making it hard for anyone to get by. Following the violence Friday, managers at her apartment complex emailed residents saying they're working closely with local authorities and 3CDC to address ongoing safety concerns in the surrounding area, including those related to nearby nightlife establishments. Monday, Love on Fourth's Instagram page shared Mayor Aftab Pureval's statement addressing the violence. The club wrote, "We felt incredibly supported over the past 3 days.
Is there audio
calls, texts, the support of CPD, our elected officials, business leaders, and of course our customers has been overwhelming. We appreciate the showering of support."
And I have made attempts to reach the owner of Love on Fourth, but at this point have not heard back. I also reached out to Cincinnati police to try and figure out if Love on Fourth had a permit to block the sidewalk. For now, live downtown, Morella Porter, Local 12 News.
All right, Morella, investigators still have not released details on the people that they say are facing charges. Ahead at 6, a member of City Council is calling for millions to hire more police officers. There are new arrests in the fight on 4th Street in Cincinnati that's made headlines nationwide.
Yeah, Police Chief Teresa Thigi says there are 5 warrants for specific people, but only 2 are in custody so far. And those 2 would be 34-year-old Montanez Merriweather and 24-year-old Dekyra Vernon. They are both charged with felonious assault and aggravated rioting. Merriweather has a criminal history, including being found guilty of possession of a stolen firearm and aggravated robbery. Vernon has no prior criminal history.
Those who call downtown home are concerned about the recent violence. It was a packed house inside the public library.
Well, I mean, it looked like literally a group of 6 or 7, 6 or 5 people.
He joins us now live with what was said.
Attack these 2 people. Attack this couple.
Yeah, several leaders, city leaders that is, were in attendance tonight. Now, Cincinnati Mayor.
It was a 5-on-2. It was more like a 5-on-1.
For a little more than 2 minutes. Now, for those physically in the room, they all weighed in on the events from a few days ago, shown in a video that has now gone viral.
I do not accept this one incident that we had this past weekend, and I'm definitely not going to let it define us.
Let me be clear, crystal clear. That was a violent encounter. It makes me sick to watch it over and over again.
Well, while the city leaders did address the events from this past week, and the meeting itself really focused on what they are doing right now and what they look to do when addressing public safety. The city manager started off by talking about Act for Cincy, which is a collaborative community-driven strategy to prevent violence, namely gun violence in the city. Now, the chief walked the crowd through the crime data from the Central Business District. She says numbers are up in some areas, but one slide showed that she showed mentioned that calls in the Central Business District have declined in 2025 compared to the same time last year. Now, the chief and mayor both pointed to the positive impact of their new street crime task force.
The dark blue is 2025, the light blue is 2024's data. You can see, since the task force has been in operation, the direct impact they've had on property crime in CBS. That doesn't mean that they're only operating down here. They have citywide responsibilities.
I've been proactively going after the street-level crimes our residents have been victim to. To institute new directed walking patrols in parts of our urban core at the direct request of our residents.
Well, I spoke with Joel Schindler tonight, who has lived downtown for 5 years. Schindler says he was pleased with what he heard from Chief Thigi and mentioned one thing he'd like to see in the future.
From my perspective, from where we live and what we see, that increased police visibility, especially in some of the later hours, 10 to 2 a.m., is critically important. That kind of visibility so that people
and basically
in the back of their
patrol
mind
in
a concern that the police could come by and address any of these issues, that would be great.
Well, another topic of safety that was discussed at length tonight was the city's youth. Now, City Manager Cheryl Long says they are looking into how to successfully and safely enforce a curfew for unaccompanied minors. For now, live outside the main branch of the public library, Chris Arnold, Local 12 News.
There you have it. So they got 2 right now, and there's 3 more unaccounted
My
for.
heart hurts. It hurts for this situation. It's a tragedy. We pray for all the families involved. We'll continue to pray, lift up the families involved,
biofuels place,
and we'll continue to rally around them.
Good Wednesday afternoon to you. I'm Zach Williamson, joining you live from Fremont, where officials have confirmed what we first told you last night. A father and his 2 daughters were inside Horizon Biofuels when it exploded 24 hours ago. They now tell us they believe all 3 have died, and this has turned into a recovery effort. Crews have been battling the fire nonstop throughout the night and morning hours. In total, 18 agencies have assisted. However, the building is still on fire, and the structure itself is making it nearly impossible to search for the victims.
The lightweight steel warehouse structure with concrete elevator structure is making the structure basically very difficult to gain access due to the instability. That's including the active fire that continues
to burn, yeah.
They now have heavy-duty equipment and are delayering the structure. The Fremont Rural Fire Chief, Carl Nielsen, says this will be a very slow process, but gets them closer to finding the missing father and his 2 daughters. Fremont Mayor Joey Spellerberg says they believe the 2 girls were there because they were going to a doctor's appointment once their dad had finished up work.
Yeah, that's rough. That's fucking rough. Chuck Schumer accuses Trump. Oh, here we go. Using the levers of power to enrich himself and his inner circle. Didn't Biden do that? What? Such a thing has never happened before in America.
What's happening here in Washington with all this cost increase happening, with all this chaos?
What about Obama?
In addition, unfortunately, it's unprecedented corruption. Never
Are you
in
just
our
saying
lifetimes
that because this guy
have we
actually
seen
had
a
like a
president
business
use the
empire
levers of
that he
power
built
so
up
transparently to personally enrich
versus
himself
you
and
guys
his
who
inner
had to
circle?
like
That
cheat
never
their way?
happened in America.
I mean, then again,
Presidents,
Trump
Democrats,
kind of
Republicans,
cheated his way too.
independents, conservatives, liberals, they respected the fact that their office, being in high office, was a guardianship, not to grab and reach and make money and enrich themselves. But that's what Trump is doing regularly.
Enrich themselves.
Never in our lifetimes have we seen a president use the levers of power so transparently to personally enrich himself and his inner circle. That never happened in America.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
Well, a wild street brawl in downtown Cincinnati leads to multiple people charged, and this morning 3 suspects faced a judge. Now, that fight was caught by several cell phone cameras. It went viral, and it's now been viewed all over the world. WLWT News 5's Rachel Whalen joins us live from the Hamilton County Justice Center. She has the very latest on these charges. Good afternoon, Rachel.
Good afternoon. 3 people, including one with a violent criminal past, now face felonious assault and aggravated riot charges after the chaotic fight downtown. While police say it was a coordinated attack, family members say there is more to the story. Montana's Merriweather, De'Kira Vernon, and Jermaine Matthews are all charged with felonious assault and aggravated riots. Prosecutors say Merriweather was the catalyst in what they call coordinated attack. He was seen on video whispering to the victim just before the violence began. He was already out on bond for a separate gun and stolen property case. His bond was set at $500,000. Jermaine Matthews allegedly knocked a victim to the ground and hit another person. His attorney claims it started
this is
after
the
the
person
victim
that
slapped
fucking
him. Matthews was given a
punched the woman.
$100,000 bond, and De'Kira Vernon is also accused of hitting a female victim. And as
she's the one that fucking hit the other woman too.
$200,000. Police say new surveillance
she was the one that hit the woman first, and then the other guy came up and fucking sucker punched
her. There is
her.
more to the story. Here's what Montana's Merriweather's mother had to say outside of court.
These Russians was walking down the street, and on the video he said, "You want to mess with these Russians?" And he smacked the first guy, you know. But it wasn't like they thugs. My child is in school. He had 5 kids. He's on the B honor roll in school. And he's not the thug that they put out in there to be.
Now, if you remember, Chief Terry Thigi said that anyone who used their hands to intend harm will be facing consequences.
Basically,
no matter
anyone
what
who's
side
pressing,
of the fight.
right?
So
It doesn't matter. Right,
Right,
when you start throwing hands and you start assaulting someone, right, regardless whoever started it, everyone's gonna get fucking taken in for questioning, right? There you have it. Hey, sweetie. Hey. Fuck them jeans.
For everybody who's out there thinking of using VPNs, let me just say to you directly.
Oh yeah, they were trying to ban VPNs in England now, or UK land.
Safe in our country. So
I don't know how children are going to use VPNs, but okay. Yeah, free speech in the UK.
I don't think it
You keep using those words, I do not think they mean what you think they mean. Imagine trying to bug little Emily at Barnes and Nobles, and she got some for you. Oh yeah, I saw that picture on Twitter. Oh, is this the one? Yeah, they throw the fucking dildo. Oh shit! I don't know who threw it. I can't find the person. That's Sydney Sweeney's.
We are back, baby.
What?
We are back. We're back.
What does it say? Unbridled culture shift towards whiteness. The fuck? It has nothing to do with the person's fucking skin color, you fucking retards. Dude, it's always skin color to these people. Like, holy fucking shit.
We are back, baby. We are
oh my god.
Back.
Look, don't get me wrong. There are a minuscule population of racist motherfuckers. But to say that everyone's a racist motherfucker, no, come the fuck, stop this. You need to fucking stop. Stop generalizing people so hard. My god.
Back.
Good. You found this picture. Yeah.
And why did American Eagle hire a young white woman with perfect breasts to do their jeans commercial? Why not a fat black woman?
Why not a fat
right now in America?
Jesus.
As people's due process rights and freedom of the speech rights and secret police are running around this country, picking people up off the streets who have a legal right to be here. There's too much going on in this country.
You should give them the ukulele. Maxwell stopping crime, Maxwell doing crime. Blaming her for slavery. little girl, man. It's like blaming her for Pearl Harbor. Little Asian girl. Jesus. There you have it. Meme the left if you want to check them out. Let's take a look at this.
Because there is no one. So present, I guess, your arguments for second degree to Scott 1.
Sure. So as we know, we're doing this because we've watched people that it sure appears that they have somehow figured out how to make a lot of money off their job up here in Congress. So my amendment is to get a review of all the trading by Nancy Pelosi and her husband for the last 25 years. I think it's critical to get to the root of why this bill was proposed and get transparency
They're
for the
looking
American
into
people.
Nancy Pelosi's
I think,
financial books, dude.
I agree that we've got to figure out, why people don't trust, and I think Speaker Pelosi is the
shit.
prime example. So this amendment calls for an Inspector General to issue a GAO report on the Pelosi trading for the last 25 years with a report back to the committee within 180 days. I urge my colleagues to support my amendment.
I have a clarification question. This is the report on Nancy Pelosi. Does it include other members of Congress? Or this is just a report?
Speaker Pelosi and her husband.
On her husband.
We sent copies around it earlier.
I just want to be clear.
By computer. But we sent it by computer and we can pass out copies.
So this is just Nancy Pelosi and her husband.
The thing about it is I think it's driven by a lot of, like, for example, there are wealthy people in the Senate who people say, oh, look at all the money he's got. And they have gotten very rich over the last 20 or 30 years they've been in office. But the particular person, I'm not going to mention the name, is married to a very wealthy woman and her family. And it's like, there is an explanation. But online, everybody's like, how did that guy get to be so rich? And I worry about targeting one person is the only thing. I don't say that in a mean-spirited way. I just worry about going after one person as opposed to a report on stock investments or more generally than going after one person. But
yeah, I mean, I see what.
Well, I don't know. I worry about going after people just looking around at everybody's stock trades and trying to make accusations. The Ethics Committee kind of does this already, and I assume the Ethics Committee does it. I hate to put you on the spot, Jim, but what do you think about it from the ethics perspective?
Yeah, I can't speak to the House perspective. For those of us that have served in the House know the fun of being in the House and their dual committees and what they do on ethics. Senate ethics is exceptionally thorough. We've had multiple members, and some have been discussed even a little bit today.
That too, right? These people, right? I'm pretty sure they had some conversations.
And as Senator Johnson has mentioned, every single stock transaction of $1,000 or more, buying or selling, is made public already right now and is tracked in public and is tracked by ethics. And any question that comes up on a hearing, a meeting, and anything else that happens with any member of the Senate, if there is something that happens and then they trade in that stock later, it is actually brought to ethics, and we follow up with those individuals. And any individual that's in the Senate knows full well that owns stocks, the pressure that they're under constantly, the microscope they're under, and any of their trades.
Yeah,
so, this is very
as a politician, you're basically under a bigger
So
microscope.
does this the second degree?
I'm pretty sure
does
they
this
would
replace the
make
entire
sure
bill
you're
with the
not
study?
doing anything fucking shady, right?
So
Like
it has-
insider
it
trading
leaves
shit,
everything in
basically.
place and it does the study.
Yeah, just as a study.
And what happens to what about you, Scott Amendment number 1? Does this replace all of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Scott Amendment number 1.
Was to cover the people in the legislature.
Federal, well, no, Scott Amendment number 1 is federal employees, so it would recover National Guardsmen, Army Reservists, it would cover postal services. No, active duty only. Active duty only. So what survives of that in this? Are we still going to cover Guardsmen and Reservists and? Okay.
Yeah. So Scott second degree replaces Scott 1. We're not voting on anything Scott 1.
Correct.
Okay. Further discussion?
Ask a roll call.
Okay. Clerk will call the roll.
Senator Johnson.
Aye.
Senator Langford. Senator Scott. Senator Hawley. Senator Moreno.
Now they're putting
Senator
up
Ernst.
to a vote if they're
Senator
going
Moody.
to, right,
Senator
follow
Peters.
through.
No.
Senator Hassan. Senator Blumenthal. Senator Fetterman. Senator Kim. Senator Gallego. Senator Slotkin. Senator Paul.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, on the vote of those present. Mr. Chairman, on the vote of those present, the yeas are 7, the nays are 8. On the vote by proxy, and for the record only, the yeas are 0, the nays are 0. On this vote, the yeas are 7, the nays are 8, and the amendment is not agreed to.
Mr. Chairman.
Say again. Senator Scott.
Okay. I withdraw my secondary amendment to Scott 1. I'd like to call up Scott 2.
Okay, can you explain it to us?
I withdraw Scott 1, but yeah, Scott 2, Alex. This amendment provides for an exemption of the president, the vice president, and their spouses and dependents. Look, I've been very clear about my concerns about the provisions of this bill. They give Democrats another weapon to attack President Trump and Vice
looking
President
into
Vance after
Pelosi
Russiagate,
did not
fake
pass.
impeachments, basis which
Because it wouldn't make any sense because
indictments. The
right,
last thing
I
we
think
do is give
everyone
Democrats
said
more
no
weapons to
because
attack the
they
president.
already
We can ban
have
suffering from
stuff
Congress, but let's give
in place
more
to
weapons
make
Democrats
sure
to attack
they
President
aren't
Trump. I urge
doing
my
some
colleagues to support
shady
my
shit.
amendment.
I will oppose the amendment, not because I want President Trump to be investigated and divested and all the things that this bill would do. I'm going to oppose the final bill because I don't want him to be included in any of this. But on the amendment, I think if it's good for Congress, we had to apply it to everybody. I'd go to the president, I'd go to the courts, I'd go to all the staff. I'd put everybody under it. The more the better to spread it. But on this particular one, I'll end up voting no because my opposition to the final bill will be my opposition to Donald Trump being involved in any way. Any further discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Senator Johnson. Aye. Senator Langford. Senator Scott. Senator Hawley. Senator Moreno. Aye. Senator Ernst. Senator Moody. Senator Peters.
No.
Senator Hassan. No. Senator Blumenthal. No. Senator Fetterman. Senator Kim. Senator Gallego. Senator Slotkin.
Basically, a lot of these bills are
Mr. Chairman, on the vote
targeting
of those
one
present, the
person.
yeas are 6, the nays
If
are
it's
9. On
only
the vote by
targeting
proxy,
one
the yeas are
person,
0,
then
the nays
it's
are 0. On
not
this vote,
worth
the yeas are
it.
6,
If
the
it's
nays are
not
9.
targeting
The amendment is not
everyone,
agreed
then
to.
it's bull crap, right? Is what he's saying.
Okay.
There's
Now
no
we're gonna
fairness.
vote to adopt the Hawley substitute as modified. The clerk will call the roll.
Senator Johnson.
No.
Senator Langford. No. Senator Scott. Senator Hawley. Senator Moreno.
At
Ernst.
least for
Senator
Jim.
Moody.
Right,
Senator Peters.
the two amendments
Senator
that he
Hassan.
put up were
Senator
kind
Blumenthal.
of
Senator Fetterman.
right,
Senator Kim. Senator
singling
Gallego.
out people.
Senator Slotkin. Senator Paul.
No.
When it should have been a more general approach.
Mr. Chairman, on the vote of those present, the yeas are 8, the nays are 7. On the vote by proxy, the yeas are 0, the nays are 0. On this vote, the yeas are 8, the nays are 7, and the amendment is agreed to.
We'll now vote on final passage as modified. Clerk will call the roll.
Senator Johnson.
No.
Senator Langford. Senator Scott. Senator Hawley. Senator Moreno. Senator Ernst. Senator Moody. Senator Peters.
Aye.
Senator Hassan. Senator Blumenthal. Senator Fetterman. Senator Kim. Senator Gallego. Senator Slotkin. Senator Paul. Senator Paul.
No.
Mr. Chairman, on the vote of those present, the yeas are 8, the nays are 7. On the vote by proxy, and for the record only, the yeas are 0, the nays are 0. On this vote, the yeas are 8, the nays are 7, and the motion is agreed to.
There you have it. In the Senate Homeland Security Committee, senators voted on an amendment from Sen. Rick Scott, of Republican of Florida, to get a review of all the trading by Nancy Pelosi and her husband for the last 25 years. Yeah, and that's went up for all of Congress, and that's why they didn't pass it, because it didn't. Right, it only targeted one person. If it targeted all of them, yeah, it would have been fine. But yeah, no, it didn't target all of them.
Person of color was in the room because this message was not intended for us.
I don't like clowns.
I don't either. An initial review finds nothing illegal in proposed whites-only community attorney. Jesus. AG office says. Want to slow climate change? Stop having babies. What? What? Okay. I guess to reduce the carbon footprint. Only immigrants can reverse America's baby bust. Which yeah, a lot of people there have been articles saying that. Migrant caught with child abuse videos spared jail and deportation. What the fuck? That's bullshit. Astronauts breakdancer, white male. Oh, from CNN.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My jeans are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very
My jeans are blue.
They just talking about denim, right? Just a
Yeah,
blonde-haired,
here-
blue-eyed
so
woman
he even
explaining
saw
how
it
her
too.
good
All the
genes
people
gave her
freaking out.
personality and purity. I mean, are we really going to pretend that this isn't a little fashy-coded? Crazy person! Look, I'm not saying that Sydney Sweeney personally wrote this ad to revive
Right.
the Third Reich, but American Eagle absolutely knew what they were doing here. You don't get to
Well,
drop
yeah.
lines about
They-
inherited
they were trying to
traits,
get more
blue
money.
eyes, and great genes, while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster and expect people not
Nah,
to catch
bitch,
that
you just don't know
reference.
how to market.
Sydney Sweeney has very keens.
Are they using a drone right there? I think they're using a drone
Good
right there.
genes used to mean racial purity in fascist circles, and now it's just denim marketing. We are watching
just-
fascist aesthetics sneak back into pop culture through fashion ads, trad wife influencers, and yes, now blue jeans. If you think this was an innocent ad, you have not been paying attention.
So this is really just Clean Girl 2.0 relaunch. And they are
Why did they
depending on
gotta
her
put this
to really pull
analysis
in
like
what
this?
their audience is for this brand, and it is the audience
Like
of
they're
Clean
going
Girl 2.0. It's
real
really
deep
beige
into the
at this
weeds
point.
for some reason.
And a
They're like
bunch
going
of the
like
ad, you don't
conspiratorial
see
status,
the
right?
clothes. You don't even see the jeans. And yeah. At this point, Sydney, business-wise, is living up to the initials in her name. With everything that she does, is she's making it pretty clear. So IRL,
What are you
she's gassy.
talking about, lady?
You sound like a crazy person.
Should we
Yeah.
be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably
boy.
not. But it's still really shocking. Like a blonde,
You're making fascist
haired,
propaganda right now.
blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
It's always the ugly ones.
My love, French me in front of these jealous women.
I am not a moment. I'm a force to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
I am Chica.
Wait, why was that targeted
That
at us?
gravity is a
American
force
Eagle
to be
using
reckoned
fashion
with
as a way
too.
to influence young, middle American women ages 15 to 25 because that's their demographic. In their prime reproductive years to focus on purity and passing down the correct genes. And they thought it was a cute double entendre, but it wasn't. Oh, and don't think this was an accident. This was very intentional, and it would not have mattered one bit if a person of color was in the room because this message was not intended for us. Oh, and it landed for its intended
Yeah,
market.
why?
Shut up.
See, she
You are
even
so
said it right
fucking
there.
boring.
Right, she said it right there. Because there wasn't a person of color, I'm going to hate this thing. Literally. Oh, I hate this this white person doesn't represent me. Doesn't represent my people. Fuck this bitch. I'm racist. Fuck you. Put a person of color in.
Boycott American Eagle for their racist line, talking about blue jeans and
What do
white
you mean
people.
racist? What the fuck? You're
The
more
race-obsessed
racist than
feminist
them.
left hates white people,
Holy shit.
and any representation of us throws them
These
into
people are
rage.
fucking out of their mind.
Campaign doesn't check any of their DEI boxes that we have been inundated with for the last couple of decades. The toxic, twisted worldview of the so-called progressive left is that anything white is problematic.
Yes, pretty much.
It's only inclusive if it excludes white people. White identity is the only identity that is not allowed to exist.
Basically.
You can have every Minority Heritage Month, but oh boy, you will never be able to have White European Heritage Month. The left will try
Yeah,
and tell
literally,
you that
as
this is
as
about
soon as you
history.
tell people, oh,
They
you
will
have
tell
some
you
kind
it's
of
about
white,
all these different
literal,
things,
like, white
but it's
bloodline,
not.
they're gonna be like, get the
It's
fuck
about
out of here.
hate. It's painfully
They're gonna
obvious that
fucking
this is
hang
not
you.
about
They're gonna
equality.
lynch you.
It's about the utter submission of white people. But that time is over. We will not be bullied into submission any longer. We are standing up and telling you to stick your deranged ideologies where the sun does not shine.
The pun, good genes, activates troubling historical associations for this country. The American eugenics movement in its
Oh
prime
my
between
God,
like
yeah.
1900 and 1940 weaponized the idea of good genes just to justify white supremacism.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, the whole eugenics then back then had nothing to do with the whole good, right? Or it had everything to do with right, Hitler's ideology of what he viewed as good genes, right? The blue hair, right? The blue eyes, the blonde hair, right? He was looking for certain traits. That's what he cared about. So to say that to say that eugenics was all like that the whole time, no, motherfucker. Fuck you. It's just because some fucking crazy ass politician decided to do some fucking crazy bullshit and now you're being a bitch about it.
Weaponized the idea of good genes just to justify white supremacism.
Yeah, it's like, what do you... Oh, what? Okay, okay, how about we remove the fucking white supremacy shit, and why don't we go down to, like, Africa or some shit? Why don't we go to, like, the Middle East and see what's going on? Right, they got brown supremacy over there. They got black supremacy down there in Africa. Like, what are we doing here? Don't do this. Why are people like this?
Justify white supremacism.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
True. That's why I don't take these people seriously, because when they say that shit, then let me say the reverse. What about black power or fucking brown power or fucking yellow power? We're like, come on, dude, don't do this. You sound like a retard.
Suck it.
Sound like a fucking hypocrite. Oh, the Doberman got fucked up. I don't even know if that's the Doberman. Anyways. There you have it. The palate cleansers. And Noxious YouTube if you want to check them out. There you have it. And check out all the all the sources we viewed and the rapid news. Much appreciated. Thanks for watching. You know, like, subscribe. Much appreciated.